All right, welcome back to Fast Money. Well, stock's not the only thing taking a beating today. You got Bitcoin breaking below 7,000 early afternoon, so the crypto traders have their eye on one big event tomorrow that might make or break at least the short-term future for Bitcoin. Seema Modi back at HQ with more. Seema.
Hey, Brian, investors are growing anxious ahead of tomorrow's hearing. The heads of the SEC and CFTC will testify in front of the Senate Banking Committee at 10 a.m. Eastern. The topic, regulatory oversight of virtual currencies. And in the hot seat, SEC Chairman Jay Clayton, who will be asked to address the risks in investing in the crypto space. That includes Bitcoin as well as initial coin offerings. While the SEC has filed several lawsuits on fraudulent initial coin offerings, its commentary on Bitcoin and crypto exchanges has been limited. So traders will be looking for some type of guidance on whether regulators will pursue a specific strategy like regulators in China and South Korea, which have taken a harder stance on cracking down on cryptocurrency trading. Bitcoin lost over $1,000 in today's trade and is down about 65% from its mid-December high. But to put this move into perspective, this isn't the largest drop that we have seen in Bitcoin. It did lose over 90% back in late 2011. Also worth noting, the sell-off today not confined to just Bitcoin. Its rivals, Ether, Litecoin, Ripple, also suffering double-digit declines. Brian?
Yeah, Seema Modi, big day. Thank you very much. All right, for more, let's bring in now Michael Buscella. He is a managing director of Block Tower Capital, a leading crypto investment fund. Mike, a lot of people out there are going to be looking to you for some guidance, for some perspective, and maybe a little comfort. You might have to play psychologist tonight.
Yeah, that works for me.
What do you say?
I think we're actually at a pretty exciting time for cryptocurrencies, digital assets overall, on two fronts, the volatility and the opportunity that represents, and then also sitting at the precipice of what could be one of the most material events for the evolution of the digital asset ecosystem, the Senate hearing tomorrow morning.
You think that's really going to drive down the cryptos this much, considering we've had sells for the last couple of weeks and we didn't have a hearing the next day?
I think it's a confluence of things. So if you think about large concentrated holdings of digital assets, you have a lot of folks who are looking to de-risk into this event. So you have that layered on with emotional retail markets, which then bring you to technical levels, which a lot of TA analysis goes into and a lot of folks trade off of. So you have those layered on top of one another, which create dramatic both drawdowns and rallies.
So let me ask you something. As the crypto craze has gone on and it's sucked in a lot of typical stock investors, as opposed to being sort of a counterculture, people who don't own stocks, when we have days like today, everything kind of moves down together. Do you think that's what's happening here, or do you think that's a separate phenomenon? It
could be idiosyncratic. It could be a coincidence. But if you think about the implied volatility on something like Bitcoin of 120, and you compare that to traditional asset classes, it's in the realm of 10 times. So you think about 10 times the type of the movement you would see in traditional asset classes. What I think about volatility is that it actually brings about the need for regulation, which is helpful in the long run because it creates a framework from, you have a lot of institutional capital and infrastructure development sitting on the fringes. And this provides a framework which de-risks their involvement in the space. And it actually is long-term beneficial for the overall development of the ecosystem.
So when you look at the global market for Bitcoin and you look at the hearings aside, as you said before, what about just globally, Asia? What does Bitcoin, when everyone looks at the trajectory that they think Bitcoin is going to get to, can you take Asia off the table and still have something that is constructive?
I think you could still have something constructive, although I think there is a need for global adoption of digital assets. And I think it's important to develop that in a systematic way with regulatory agencies behind the movement. I think you need institutional adoption. And so that would require, obviously we're a global economy, it would require global adoption as well.
Mike, what do you think at Block Tower, on a day like today, how do you guys assess a risk-off environment as it relates to what you guys are doing, which is uncorrelated?
Yeah, sure. So, we again view volatility as a enormous opportunity. We have a multitude of underlying strategies that we, utilize a very robust risk management process and investment process to tap into. I don't want to go too deep into individual strategies, but
good. And we'll get you back on a day like today. We got to hop on back onto the stocks. But Michael Buscella, we appreciate your insight. Thank you very much. All right.
hold the wall, hold the wall, hold the wall, hold the wall, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.